Let's see here. Is everything still in place? My microphone appears to still be active. Got a camera over here. Got windows and stuff. Listen, it's been a while since I've done one of these things. I don't necessarily remember everything to do. But the way I recall it, you need to start with hello, and welcome. I'm Nick, and welcome to another Saturday night stream. It's been a little while since we did one of these. Because, life happens. But I've been wanting to get back to it, and it's finally about ding-dang time that we get back to it. And now, here we go. That's in the background. Love that. I figured let's do something that I was thinking about doing and just kind of didn't get the... I'm going to say I didn't get the chance to get around to it, but, days are weird. Chances is a weird concept. But I want to check out some of the games from the Next Fest, some of the demos, because, listen, I love demos. I think demos just... The first hit is always free. If you want people to get a good sense of your thing and just be able to decide for themselves whether they're going to like it or not, just give them some of it. And if you maybe, well, once people know that they like something, I think they usually go in for the rest of it. I think shareware back in the day was amazing. I think we're missing out by not having a lot more of that these days. And I think the Next Fest is a great way of doing it. Just really highlight, hey, here's a bunch of stuff you can check out, you can browse, you can do whatever. It's better than... Actually, it's very close to... Ooh, bumping. It's very close to walking down the aisles in the rental store from back in the day and just being like, ooh, I want to try this, and I want to try this, and I want to try this. And you find some stuff you like, you find some stuff that you're not really into, but you know what? Even the stuff you didn't like, you learned, and you didn't waste too much time. So... how about I stop jabbering? Let's get to it. And the first one I have lined up for tonight is a game called... Ooh, the transition is struggling. This is Golfie. As you can see from the logo, it is a roguelike deck building mini golf game. And here's the thing, that is very much in my wheelhouse. Yeah, right? It is pretty fantastic. So this is a golf ball that we play. I'm not gonna lie, I needed to pick myself up, so a couple of these, there were like two other demos that I had picked up and looked at a little bit and said, actually, this isn't really what I want to look at. This one I started looking at and said, oh no, yeah, this is exactly my jam. So let's just go. It's a roguelike, so we're gonna start a new run. I don't know what that little icon that looks like a football is all about, I'll be honest. Next stop, beach, dungeon, or floating islands. I mean, beach. Gotta start on the beach, right? Start with a random perk, transform a card, or add a random card to the deck. Okay. Start with a random perk. Oh, it's not gonna play the tutorial for us over. Okay. You know what? Let's see if I can do that actually. Because I didn't even finish the tutorial. I was just like, let me. Here, play tutorial. Play. I love easy buttons. They know exactly what you're looking for. There we go. Okay. Now it's gonna tell us. Systems online. Ready to launch. This ball appears to be a spaceship. Alright, so I'm not going to say this feels like a mobile game, and even then I wouldn't say it really derisively. But it is very much like one button, one click and drag, everything. Hey, what do you know about golf games? You click, you drag. Yay. That wasn't very far. Let's add some more power. Okay. So now we have a hand down here. So this was our... Okay, I guess it won't let me show it right now. But basically, these are our cards. I guess this is our action points. And we have these like cartridges that we play. That'll... Ooh. Oh, I love that 3D depth to the card. Oh, I love that. But there. So it plays in. It used up one of our points. And now it affects what our shot's going to be doing. Power shot just gives us more power. All right. The energy readings from that crystal are amazing. I could extract that energy and use it for more cartridges. Let's hit it. Let's shit it. But I'll need some height to reach it. Ah, now we have lob shot. So we want to play a lob shot. Thanks to my prediction module, I can estimate the shot's trajectory with a certainty of 98.1701%. No one can predict the future precisely, but it's still a great guide. So lob shot and power shot, we get to play them both together. And there you go. Can I just line it up? This is a little weird, the 3D what have you, getting the shot lined up. I'm glad you can adjust the camera while in the midst of aiming here. That's useful. Let's go there. I'm going to bounce it a little this way. Okay, we get a card. Jetpack, jump, glider. Well, jetpack. Until the ball runs out of fuel. Hang on. Amazing! This one can be activated using the button shown next to it after it connects to the reactor. Okay, now let's get to that hole. Yeah, man, don't I know it? Okay, I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna do. Well, if I just do lob shot, right? Is that okay? That's not bad. I imagine if I'm in here. Okay, I can right click to cancel shot. And power shot and jetpack, and that'll be 1. Okay. Okay. Oh, it gave the ball a little jetpack. Yo. Right, now let's just go this way. Let's try that again. Maybe a little less pepper on it. What I'm talking about. All right, now let's go island. Let's add a card to the deck. Oh, there's like secrets over there. Coolant. Remove 1 heat. Oh, interesting. Let's see here. All right, if I'm me, which I am, so it should be easy to figure out. Like if I just do okay here, then you right click on the ball to cancel. Okay, I guess if we just lob, can we get like a decent way? Yeah, I just want to like try and get over this bridge for now. Oh, come on. Can I just draw to cycle my deck? Oh, interesting. All right, well, let's... Yeah, 1 should be good. One of my... Oh, yeah, look, it's all the way over there. I don't even know how to get up there. All right, power shot it is. One of my favorite things that is, like, part of the, like, language of golf games is like getting that feel for what the shot gauge means. Like direction, yeah, but it also has like the length in tune with it, and it's like, okay, the ball won't stop right at the end of the arrow. What does it mean? And then adding the effect of ground sloping on top of that. Let's try this. Oh, come on. Okay, we have shots. We have coins. Let's get at it. This ain't gonna end well. Uh-huh. Fine. Lob and power. Can I just... I want to dunk it. I did not dunk it. I did get a coin. We just... No! I wanted to cancel that shot. Okay. Well, just give me a power shot. One should be enough. Should be enough? Okay. Par. Okay, so it doesn't let you go over par. Hole 2. Oh, I wonder if there's like 3 holes per section. There's a crystal over there. But there's a crystal over there. Or we could just go to the hole. There's a ramp, though. What if I just go ham? Oh, okay, so I guess the lob shot looks like it has a set height. It's just sort of a matter of... does your... how far out it lands based on the strength of the shot. Perfect, baby. Give me a curve shot. Can I double lob? Double lob! Okay, now we're talking. We are not talking. It's silly. I like that it's silly. If I power shot here, I just want to... No. If I power shot here, now we're... Okay, hang on. Okay, if I just let go here, good. You can't unplay. Ooh, that's bad. Oh, okay. Discard pile and draw pile so you can see what you have left. Okay. That's good. That makes sense. I want to unplay. Well. Oh, it was actually reflecting off of the angles of the crystal. Draw 3, discard 2. Discard 1, draw 1. Repulsive field. Okay, repulse the ball. I love playing Gravity Wars. Alright, game, give me nonsense. Power shot. Lob shot. Let's go. This ain't gonna do anything. I just love playing like Goof Troop. Really, that's it. Golf. Curve. Ooh, I'll take it. If I had gotten that last turn, that'd be great. Power shot. Not enough. Power shot, though. Ooh, a little too much, but that's good. We want it to hit like here. Too much. Oh, the whole thing is 3D. That's real good. It's okay. We're here now, and just put her in. Just put her there, pal. Okay. Well, what's my usual go-to? That's gonna miss the crystal. Ooh! Barely, but got it. Portal. Yes! Place portals. Inflate. Inflate the ball to 200% current size for the rest of the round, reducing weight, increasing bounciness. And according to that, also floating. Oh, I gotta think in portals. Uses 3 heat. Portal. Okay. What if I just place it here? And then I place... Oh, they have to be like within a certain radius of each other? But I can put that radius... I can put that radius like over here. Okay, that's interesting. Alright, let's just power shot. You can... Okay. Let's just get it downfield. You don't gotta be tricky every shot. Sometimes you just gotta make solid progression. And sometimes you gotta just power shot. Oh! Hello. Hello, friend. It's an interesting spot you decided to sit. I just hit it? Yeah, it's just gonna be weird about it. Did we hit it? Oh boy. God, where do you want to end up? Right here? That's not at all where it went. Okay, I'll take it though. Why don't we give it a little lob? Just want to sort of pop it in here, right? Papadopoulos. Golf paradise. Swoosh! Swoosh! Gotta swoosh! Oh, okay, and you get coins. I haven't seen anything to spend the coins on. Can we get hats? Hole 4. So when are we changing biome? That's gonna hurt. Okay, that's a vending machine. Hi, I'm here to pop. Yeah, okay, that's not bad. Yeah, that vending machine absolutely has cards in it. Free look camera. Oh, we can just go see. Hello. Hi. Wow, I just gotta walk up to it to get it. I don't know what those bottom ones are. How many do we have? 6. We could get a lob. I don't think I want a lob. Locked camera. Uh-oh. Orbit. Okay, here we go. Coins. Let's do... Okay, let's do a lob. Where can that get us to? Can that get us where we want to go? I could probably get us like here, right? Then just get it to... Okay, but if it goes into red, it to come out blue, right? I think this is the thing we need to like look at here. So now let's just get her in there. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. That's a bummer. Okay, okay. Can you curve shot on the ground? You sure can. Need to add some power to that though. Ugh. Ooh. Oh, that feels pretty good. Yes! 5 under. Yeah, this game feels pretty good. It's a little weird. So, okay. When you're talking about, like, deck building games, the thing you have to remember is that a deck is a die where faces fall off. And the whole point of it is to randomize your actions for a turn, right? And in a game like this, in a game like golf, right? Usually your consistent elements... All right, compared to like a Mega Man, something I love to do. Mega Man, you jump, you shoot, maybe you slide, maybe you charge. You climb ladders, you stand on ground, yada yada. And then the challenge and like the surprises is the enemies, the enemy patterns, the combinations of enemies, and you know, the whatever hazards land the level before you. Trying to do that here and make a golf roguelike. So okay, let's look at a regular golf game then. You have your basically your tools to create a trajectory, right? And the thing that's not necessarily randomized, but is like skill based, a chance for it's sort of like you can pick like, here's what your perfect should be, and there are like you get to pick your idealized line, and then there's a lot of elements that sort of make that line fuzzy and make you derive from that line. Like, you know, when you have your 2 or 3 click swing mechanic where it's timing based, so maybe your timing isn't perfect. You have elements like the wind, where maybe it's not the same wind every time, and a lot of the, you know, the fuzziness of trying to, your guide does not account for things like wind and slope of the field and all of that. So there's a lot of fuzziness between like, here's what the ideal would look like. You know it won't be that, so you have this, the skill is sort of getting a feel for adjusting what is this fuzziness going to do. Like you have to conceptualize what this idealized line will look like through these, you know, fuzzy deviators, something like that. And maybe I'm weird, but I think that alone is pretty compelling. Like, golf games aren't one of my go-tos, but I've played a bunch. You know, the Mario Golf on the 3DS, I had a lot of fun with that. Putt-putt games, I've been playing all my life in one form or another. Real golf and well, real mini golf at least has always been something I'm a fan of. But what we're doing here, by adding this element of the deck, is sort of fundamentally changing what that challenge is, because you don't get to craft your idealized line, right? You get this you are basically given like randomized tools, and then there's almost sort of a question of like, what is the best line I can create given this randomness, right? So and like when you look at the guide of the ball, like the guide is fairly trustable, and it does react to ground slope, and you know, when we were looking at it bounce off the crystal, you could see that it was updating to be like, this is the way it'll bounce. So they've taken out that fuzziness, and like your line is, you don't necessarily have to figure out what the line will be. It'll just sort of tell you what that line is. So they're switching out that. But at that point, the idea of like achieving par is kind of bizarre to me. The idea of even saying it's just like, because the reason you can set a par is because you say like, we know what you will go, we know the tools you will have. We know the things that are, you know, theoretically possible in this case. But because we're randomizing the tools, we're randomizing what your ability will be on a swing-to-swing basis even. I mean, okay, you want to get into, like, principles of deck builders, and, like, you start with a small, pretty consistent deck. You know, if you're drawing 5 cards and you only have 10 cards in the deck, and, you know, there's so many duplicates, there's only, like, 2 unique cards, and it's like, okay, well then we can pretty consistently know that across 2 turns you will get all of these, and you can kind of work it on averages there. But this idea being like again, the idea of having par is just so weird. I could see a version of this game where it was like multiplayer only, and every player is dealt the same hand, and basically what you're doing is you're sort of like, you go back to what it was. Given the same tools, who can create the better, more efficient line? You know, using this hodgepodge of tools, randomize every shot. But yeah, as a single player game, this is feeling not abstract. What's the word? A little. What's the word I'm thinking of? Not abstract, but like independent of reason or theme. It's an A word. All right, and it feels sort of like arbitrary. Thank you. It feels like so like they've definitely like understood that they've changed one of the fundamental like challenges of golf here, but because of what they changed, now some of these ideas of like, you know, stroke and par feels a little arbitrary to be in there, because it's like it doesn't really work with what has been changed, at least not in a way that like is either going to be like weirdly unfair, or you're going to have to ease up on so much that it's you just kind of question why it's there. Like, I came in 5 under par. No idea what that means. See, because the other way you go about it is there is an element of like, because I do like, I want to say a lot of the sort of like roguelike deck builders, whatever. You see it in Inscription, you see it in Into the Breach isn't a deck builder, but like a lot of these games where you're having a lot of things randomized turn to turn, the way that you make them work really well is you turn it into a puzzle, and you say, okay, you know, every turn is a puzzle. How do you do the best with your how do you do the best with the tools you are randomly given? And that's why I think it works as a multiplayer game, where everybody like being given the same tools in a given shot and just be like, all right, what can you do with this? And it's like, you know, oh, then it's a pretty cool, like whoever better solves the sequence of shots, all being given the same tools, that, you know, there you go. That's pretty clear who did a better job. You can measure success in a much clearer way, you know. But as far as just getting it in under par, like I just got it in 5 under par. I do not care about par anymore. Now par is just like now, but also now it's just like, okay, if I don't reach par, is it? I could see a situation where, like, I want to know what the par is calculated by. Is it calculated by like how long it would take you to reach the hole not using any power-ups? So that way, the fact that you have power-ups using any of them, you are like fundamentally going to come in under par, and it's just a question of by how much. And a lot of the secrets around the course, like I've passed up a bunch because like I have lives and I have a stroke limit, and between those two, like I don't want to like faff about and shoot my ball into the water just for the sake of getting a collectible that I don't know what it does. But on top of that, like even if I successfully get the collectible, partly because I don't know what it is, but like, is it going to be something that lets me make up for the fact that I just shot, you know, a stroke and a life in order to get it? You know, I have no idea if that's going to pay off. I have no idea if it's worth it. If this was like, especially if it, because of the way that it counts down, the strokes count down, I have a feeling that if you hit 0, it's over. I don't know if it goes negative. I don't know if it goes whatever. If this was like a sort of like count up, like, okay, I'm going to use this go around as a faff about and learn and do all that. Okay. But, you know, this is a roguelike. I don't know the next time I'll be back to that specific map. I don't know the next time it'll matter. I don't know the next time I'll have, like, the same tools for that go-around. Like, it's... I have a lot of these pressures that are telling me, like, no, just go for the one goal that you know, which is the golf goal, I guess. That being said, I'm really enjoying it, but there is a couple of these questions that, like, I feel like the game isn't necessarily answering. Wow, that is so much stuff. Okay, we're gonna portal. Gonna go in blue. We're gonna come out red. And then we're gonna lob shot into that portal. That's bunk. That's bunk. All right, we're just gonna hit it. Wild card. A random temporary card. Nah, let's try inflate. Oh, and you could just skip and not get a card. Huh. First is the round. Okay, so what is a round? I'm guessing a round is a hole. Is it shots? Rounds are usually... Round is a term generally reserved for multiplayer games to say a round is the phase in which every player has a turn. You go round the table or what have you. So the idea of a round of golf, like, I guess? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can't play all of them. But I can portal power shot, power shot. Okay, so this would be pretty good. So we're going to go straight out here. And then shoot straight out this way. And let's go. Oh, it even shows me the thing out the portal. That's super useful. I didn't notice that last shot. Okay, now can I get, like, double lob? Well, then I'm gonna go this way. I can't necessarily... Oh! I wanna go this way. I'm gonna find out what that crystal does. I've got 6 shots left. I got a chance to get at it. Lob shot definitely adds... distance to a shot, because since it's not touching the ground, you're not getting drag friction. Pick a perk. Oh, pink ones are perks. Pick an additional card from blue crystal. Oh, double card. Big battery heals 3 lives, and I could use that. Base shot speed. Yeah. Base shot speed. Alright. If I lob shot. Ooh, can I swish it again? I just want to swish. Are you kidding me? Out of lives. I guess that does make it run based. How long have we been going on that? How many games? I don't know how many games I have tonight.
Half hour? You started at 9?
Yeah, it's been a half hour. What is this foot? Oh, it's a seed. Okay, so you can okay. Daily challenge. Okay, we'll have multiplayer. Cool. Let's do one more. Let's check out one of those other biomes, and I'll play fast on this. Let's go to dungeon. 10 coins.
Game snacks. Get a taste.
Yeah, game snacks. Oh my gosh. Alright, well, if I do a lob and a curve, I cannot see my guide at all. Whoa. Why is it already curved? I don't understand. Oh, towards the camera. Curves towards the camera, I think. Maybe? Certainly seems like it. Achung! Yeah! Oh! And I get to pick a card for a hole-in-one. Sticky paste. Oh, hell yeah, sticky paste. Let's getting sticky with it. It's my favorite Will Smith jam. God, it's up? It's up. Well, then... Oh, no, I'm so close to that wall, I can't get it good. Nah, too powerful. Okay. We're just too powerful. That's, you know, not the first time I've been warned of that. Now, will I regret this? Yes. But what if I bounce it? Okay. And scoops. Nope. Here we go. Lob, lob, power. Just get ups. Oh, I'm not going to be able to see it. Ooh! It's fine. It's good. It's chill. I'm just going to do this again. And this time I'll make it work. It did not work again. Okay, so is that the end of my run? Oh, shots. Okay. I'm going to sticky paste because I don't know what that's going to do, Grody. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, shots at -1. Oh, am I losing for a health for everyone below 0 I'm going? Yes, I am. Okay. I just put it in. All right, thank you. Taking your time. Yeah, I'm learning. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, we're going. We're blasting it. We're blasting it is what we're doing. Ooh. Now, can we just gently lob it in? Yes, we can. All right. See, I think what I'm getting out of this is like, in a normal golf game, where you are creating your ideal line, you are getting that element of, like, given an ideal line, there's a safe shot and there's like a ballsy shot, right? And the risk reward is like, oh, the ballsy shot is going to be your go-to. That's going to be, you know, your fun and your like sort of super get ahead shot. But part of being, you know, but it usually has a much tighter window of actually being able to land it. And so it's more difficult to pull off, and it might leave you in a worse position if you do, you know, goof it up, right? And what we have going on here is like, it feels like there's not really ballsy shots to be taking. There's just, hey, can you, given randomized tools, can you get there given what you have? Like, it's kind of like, hey, always take the safe shot, but also, I feel like I'm not being given the choice of risk reward. I'm just being given, can you figure this out? But also, there's not like guaranteed to be a solution. So it's also saying like, you might be able to figure this out. No one really knows. And like, I'm having trouble like trusting the game. And that, what was that shot? I'm having trouble like trusting the game, that it's not just, you know, handing me something impossible and you know, failing me when, you know, it's impossible. It's just like, all right, I guess I'm gonna die here. I'm gonna die in this little divot. Okay, don't look mad at me. Ceiling. That was a good face, actually. And now we need to hit over there on the right. Okay. If I double it, alright? I don't want to get off the ground. I want to get basically... Oh, come on. Come on, come on. Pixel Haunt. And it didn't even go that way. Okay. Huh. Do I get a curve shot? No. I'll take it. Also, how does getting in the hole help this ball get back to space? I mean, I'm assuming that's the sort of narrative goal here, because it's a ball with like a cockpit and a reactor? I don't know. You know what? I don't know. I might do it. But also, what if I really want to just go? What if I really just want to go? yeah, and like having the coins around the level, like I'm getting a really I'm consistently getting coins just off of coming up early, so like yeah, a lot of this having extra stuff around the map to like go for, just given the stroke limit seems to be your main pressure, is just like, yeah, no, like I'm not going to be going to collect anything. That one was right there. Bullet time? I mean, jetpack. Do you know why jetpack? Because jetpack is powerful. Holy cow. Okay. Can I just sort of... Yep. Okay, good. Got it. Now I gotta get out there. This won't work. By the way, this won't... Okay, see, on these floating island levels, when you can zoom out and get whatever you want, that works great. This ain't gonna work. Swish! Okay, you gotta admit, that was closer than any of us thought it was gonna go. Curve shot. No, let me undo that. So it's fine. I can still jetpack and sticky paste. So as long as I land, I'll be okay. No! Stupid. Just stupid. Okay. Let's just get out there. Ooh, ooh, fantastico. It moved on its own. You saw that, right? It moved on its own. Oh, hey, daytime. Go big and home. I don't know when I run out of gas. Oh, I should have left it alone. Normally last. That's a rough one to put. Okay. 20. That's a lot of points. Personal best. All right. This has a lot going for it. I'll tell you that. Like whatever overanalyzing I'm doing here, this has a lot going for it. I'll probably play this demo some more off stream, just because like it's a nice little, like, not everything has to lean towards, you know, this is going to eat up all your time, this is going to be a perfectly designed game. At the same time, there's always improvements that could be made, but this is, even just as is, this is a nice little palette cleanser. Let me bring us back over here, so that way I can get out of this game and pick the next one. Yeah, you know, if we spend an hour per demo and we do 3, maybe more, maybe less, well, let's see how this goes. So this is a demo not for an upcoming game, but for a game that is already out. Just not necessarily in this form. How y'all feel about Hero Quest? Because this is a little game called... Hang on. I don't even know if my stuff's set up right. This game is called, as soon as it finishes loading... I actually don't know how to pronounce it. I believe this is Demeo. It is currently out for VR only, and it is based Demeo. It's like meant to be multiplayer. Each player controls a hero. We're gonna just go in this demo. We have unproven. Don't know what that. Oh, that's probably rank. It's yeah. You want to just. So last time I did pretty well with to, you know, let's go.
It will be vanquished.
Gift to some, a curse to others, but I always deliver.
My bow is ready.
What is next?
Let's just take one of each so we can show them all off. And it's going to be, it's a tactics game. All right. It is a tactics game. Over here on the left is the order that the heroes must go in, which is, there's definitely something very, so okay, the design of this as a board game is interesting to me because it is like new school and old school at the same time. Like the fact that your heroes have a specific given order and not just like heroes, let's, you know, collaborate. But we have our 4 heroes. They do their turn at a time. You have 2 action points, which are a little fuzzy with how they can be used. We have cards down here. So like this one, no action points. That one's free. All of these are 1 each. Because this hero is the ranger, they have 2 arrows. They are on a cooldown. So when you spend these cards, they get exhausted, not discarded. Whereas the stronger ones, they get discarded. And an action point is like move anywhere within this square, or for some reason move and take in certain actions like opening a door. Just kick it.
The elven catacombs greet you with a distant wail of despair. You steel yourselves and make ready to seek out the evil nemesis residing below.
Okay, so we can get a very fuzzy view of this whole catacomb. These have been randomized, like room ways as we go in. Oh look, that's, I guess, another player's VR hands would be sitting there. So yeah, so the reason why they have a demo now is because they're putting out the desktop version rather than being VR only, which is cool. I am glad because like I love tactics games and I love having stuff to play in VR. But I was definitely like, I don't know if this is going to do it because, like, it turns out I have, like, very specific wants out of a tactics game, and very few games actually give me that. Okay, let's see here. So, first point, let's move you there. Flag of War moves. Cool. Then let's move you here. Flag of War moves. Cool. Let's get you over here. This is a... Let's put you here. Everybody gets gold. So yeah, so like I guess in a multiplayer game each one of these heroes would be controlled by a different player. Now we have our guy over here. Let's just get you out here. All right, and our wizard.
Cool.
And then all the monsters go in the background. You seem, maybe I did this wrong. So I guess these are just in the order that I placed them into the party, aren't they? Interesting. And we can't move these around. I wish we could. I think this is supposed to be a line that you can draw on the ground to communicate with other players. Heck if I know, though. No, you. Get that gold. Then, God, where do we want to go? So these are points of interest. So this might be a chest. This might be the exit. It might be a healing font. We don't actually know until we get there. Maybe we do just want to look at that though. So let's push this way. I don't actually want to move him, so I'll skip the rest of his turn. It takes so long to skip turns, but that's good. You wouldn't want to do it by accident. It's so late at night already. Why am I drinking coffee?
Cool. My turn, which means monster time.
Let's go here. What do we see? Door over here. Great. Let's go you here. We'll bring the melee. I'm going to say right here, but not open the door. Got a Rainbow Six style stack everybody up on the door.
All right, the monsters are up.
And now I can't really do anything with her because the door's already blocked up. So open the door. That's what we're talking about. Okay, this is where stuff gets interesting. So the other thing is one action point, one action, it can be just a move or a move and attack. So I could walk in here and do any of these attacks. But, and we have, okay, so other weird things. Attack is done by die rolls. I think it is a D12 with one face that is a miss, one face that is critical, and the rest are standard attack. And it'll tell you, here's your standard attack damage, here's your critical attack damage. Those numbers are static. It is also static what the opponents are going to do. It tells you their abilities. Even on these special attacks, it says this will do 3 on a regular, 8 on a critical, and it covers the 3x3 square. Like there's a lot in here that is very static. And also everybody only has 10 hit points. So it's a very small numbers game, generally speaking. So, but here's what we're going to do. So we're going to whirlwind attack, which is going to move here, and we're going to hit all of them. And they have 4 health, 2 health. So, and this is, I already played the card. This is going to, again, this is VR, so normally you would pick this up and actually throw it. Well, you can kind of throw it. What do we get? Single. So it does 3 to everybody, pushes back, 1 went out. And you, okay. So I can go over here and stomp you out. That's a critical. The thief, it has sneak, which basically means it does backstab damage. All right, he's panicked. Now you have 4. I can get most. See, he's panicked, which I think there's not like a good I wish I could like hit tab and just be able to see like, oh, what does panic mean? But it's just highlighting. It's still a little finicky for being something that started as VR only and now they're adopting it to desktop. It's not bad. The interface is mostly, you know, fine. But like, I wish I could just be like, oh, arrow. Like, you know, tell me what his range is. Which I think actually for arrows, it's unlimited range as long as it's in line of sight, which is interesting. Wait, whose turn is it? It's his turn. Right, I basically had to skip her turn because of doors. Alright, so I can't get over to you. But you're panicked, so I don't have to worry. This spawns spiderlings, I think, when it dies, so maybe I should leave it alone. I can take you out, or I could get you most of the way out. Whose turn is next? Then is the wizard. The wizard will probably be able to go in and finish both of them. So let's move you over here. And I could... Yeah. Alright, that went off screen tomorrow. Right, so then as we are mainly doing damage seems to be the thing here. We are charging up this bar. When this bar fills, that's like a level up, I guess. But all it does is everybody draws 1 card. I don't know where to look up what's in that deck. I don't know if that's customizable. I don't know if that's locked to a class. This demo is pretty limited on things like that. I don't know what like player account progression looks like. Oh, okay, so that is the level exit. We're just trying to get out of there. We're not even trying to like kill everything, but one monster somewhere in here has, oh wow, that's a long line of sight. Cool. One monster in here has a key, and we need to defeat that monster to get the key to be able to leave. So there is that. What are we looking at here? Wizard turn. All right, let's just handle everybody. That's a miss. What? I've never seen a miss hit a friendly before. All right, that's rude. That's very rude. Okay. So I can hit a 3x3, but the only things I really want to hit are here. I could do a zap. I could just do a regular hit. You're stuck there. Attack 2, attack 1. I think it's more important to take this guy out. I can do it from back. Do I want to be back here? Because if I'm back here, he's closer to the door. Yeah, I think actually just from right here. Let's just try and get this guy. And all right, missed to a crit. Completely unnecessary. Okay, monster turn. Slimeling, rude. Arrow, rude. All right, now let's get to work. So this is kind of the bummer. Can't get anybody normally, but we can have a ranger fight. 1 into, oh, not the fancy one. 1 into 2, and just basically be done.
Find the target.
Blap. Good.
Die already.
Now, attack 2, this 4. How about we just go over here and finish this off? I don't think he's panicked anymore down in the corner. He is. But I want you closer to the door anyway, because you have, so the warrior has this sort of temporary armor. Oh no, don't hit the frickin' ranger again. Oh my god. I hate the ranger. I hate the ranger so much. All right, well, we're going to do this for free because, oh my god. Let's get over here and just backstab. Backstab. Okay, so
I'll open that vein for you.
ooh. Let's go sit on that gold. And now wizard, which let's just zap. Which normally is good because it'll also stun somebody for 1 turn. Oh, if you punch him again. Sure. I wonder what that says backwards. You're killing me, game.
What will the monsters do next?
Uh-huh. Here we go. So now monsters are coming in from the other rooms. What do we got? We have an elven mystic, more spiderlings, 1 ranger. We have a treasure chest over there. Okay. Yeah, the thing about this game, like it's very, so the idea of like move and attack only costs 1 action point if it's like a standard attack. That's kind of wild to me. That seems so forgiving. But at the same time, the fact that like basically once you start combat, you're kind of triggering, in like the XCOM parlance, you're kind of triggering the entire, like every pod in the dungeon from what I can tell. Or like, I don't know if it has something to do with like open doors and whatever, but like monsters can open doors on their own. So I have no idea like how much it is punishing you here in the darkness. But like you can get swarmed really easily. And when you remember everybody only has 10 hit points, and like I've never seen a healing potion come up from a draw, only just the one you start with. That is just like kind of wild. And they have 12 hit points. So some of these like elite monsters have so many. Like it is really easy to get swarmed, and you just look at it and go like, wow, this math does not work out in my favor, you know? Okay, you have 12. What can we do about that? If I crit with both arrows, it'll kill it. Here's the thing I know from last time. The Elven Mystic does not attack. It has 0 attack. It just teleports allies, so we can kind of leave them alive, and they're not a big deal. We have another ranger. The ranger only does 1 damage, but they're a pain because, again, this arrow thing, they are line of sight, and they'll just ping you, you know? So I'm not going to double crit, but
Find the target.
we can put some damage and start stacking. If you just really gang up on one guy, you can kind of get at it. Okay, So now she lost all of her all of her armor, but has a card that is one action point to just bring all that armor back, which is like
My armor is holy.
kind of OP. What if you could just like get 5 more life whenever you wanted? It's like as long as you don't let them get ganged up on, so they're taking like 7 damage a turn, because then you're gonna lose that numbers battle eventually. But just like, wow, you really want them up front, like honestly, like three gladiators and 1 wizard or ranger is probably the thing I would do. Like honestly, the fact that they let you dupe heroes is, I don't know. The balance in this game is weird. Okay, but got the health back, and poison will do armor damage first. Go figure. Got 6 left. All right, let's just hit. Come on, crits. Crits is hits. All right, hits is hits too. Now we have you, which I'm out of range to backstab. I could take out both though, because you do attack 3. Assuming I hit, that hasn't been going well for me. Sure, crit the slime. See what I care.
One quick.
That's the guy I was hoping wouldn't show up too soon. That's a giant slime. Does 6 damage, is immune to panic, and has 22 health. That is ridiculous. And I'm pretty sure the little slimelings, if you leave them alone long enough, they transform into giant slimes. Or maybe there's like, when you kill a giant slime, that's when a slimeling gets upgraded. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen like a glossary, a codex of monsters, I'm gonna hide in this corner and attack diagonally to, as long as I don't miss, he's gone. Good. Handled. Good. He's panicked. Somebody else appeared. Oh gosh, he had the line of sight on the scary thing though. Alright, wizard time. Wizard time. Hey, wizard time. Hey, whiz boy, what can you see? Because this here does 10 damage to everything in a certain radius. So what if I just put you here? And then, oh, spider eggs, that's going to be bad. But what if we just, zapped everything? Or I could freeze, which will buy me a turn. But I want to burn everything. Hey, that's still 10 damage to everything. That kills, like, so many of those. Alright, some of them turn into spiders. What? Oh, the Mystic teleported it over here. Good for me. Yep, that's bad. And here come the spiders. Okay. What are you looking at? Okay, down to 12. We did like half the damage. We can make that go away. Let's see here. Hail of arrows is 4 each. They're only 2 each, so I can clean up neither of those spiders. Cool, great. Okay. I can't even get you, can I? I could stand right here and pelt them. Actually, the thing I like about the ranger is attack 3 crit 6, or attack 3 crit 5. But on the arrow, it's attack 3 crit 6, which is like, no, it's technically better at a range by a very small number. See, I don't know if this right here counts as like line of sight blocking cover. But probably this makes sense. And yeah, let's just handle one of these. Boots off the floor is always a plus. A spider would have so many boots. So the gladiator has piercing throw, which is cool because it does line of sight damage just straight through. But that's gonna do 5. I think I want to get you over here and just slam a jamma. Yeah, alright, alright. That's not a kill, but... Oh, but it is going to let this be a kill. Good, because you're poisoned. I can poison. I can sneak. No, I can blink. Massive damage. Don't even need to do that. We just need a hit. Alright. Handled.
A sweet kiss.
And now let's sneak. Which I think is going to be funny. Because as long as I don't attack, I think they'll die in stealth mode. And that's sad, but it's funny to me. Alright, where's our wizard? What do we got here? Alright, this is a lantern. This is like a what do you call it? Environmental hazard. You can hit it, set it off, affects an area. I can just go stomp on a spider. That'd be fun. Go here. Just get him. And then... Alright, that's good. That's a healing font. If I can get my dude over here to that in before they die, I think we can deal with that. I don't know if those are one use and they hit the whole party, or repeated use but only affects one party member at a time. Do not know. Anyway, what's in this treasure chest? Let's go here. I think that might be better cover. Hey, everybody gets a card. Everybody gets a placeable lamp. Okay.
I'll move the monsters now.
Yep. Oh, no. We're flanked. Okay. We didn't get the key yet, right? No, we didn't. All right, so this is bad. Oh, you want to do this? I don't want to deal with you.
This stuff will kill me.
Then let's do this again.
I'll let
Just
you
have an archer fight over here. That's fine. Oh, I could get over here. I can't do that. I could repair armor. I don't think I want to do that too soon. Okay, I think I do want to work people back this way, though. Let's just get right in front of you and knock you out of the room. Let's knock you out of the room. Push. Poison damage. You. Okay, so you are currently stealthed. I'm just going to try and get you over here. And also being in stealth means... I think I can save him. So there is a down but not out system. If you go down, you have like 3 turns to use an action on a down party member to pick them back up with a little bit of health. So it could be worse. Okay, here's a thought. Wizard. Hi, my name is Wizard Flanking. And I'm going to zap a boy's butt.
It's the monster's turn.
Whoa, okay. Do I want to put them... He's right here in that one dark spot. Where do I want to put folks? They are really far out. I am scared for them now. So I'm going to bring the ranger over here. And let's... I'm just leaving that mystic alone. That's, you know... Okay, so I can't, like, attack in the dark. What if I just go here? Where'd they go? Did they escape somewhere? That's weird. Or did that poison kill them? That poison killed them. That's right. They had only 1 pip left. Okay, good. Now you're here. And... Font. Everyone heals. And it was 1 use. Okay, good. But that's actually a decent amount of healing. And let's not... I did move him closer to the explosive, though. What am I doing? What door? If nobody's going to rush in on us here, I'm thinking maybe we check out this room. It's a small room, can't have too many people in it. And it's weird because these points of interest, they don't include whatever monster has the key. I'm pretty sure. No, not you. Wizard. Oh, hello. It's that time again, folks. Wizard zap. And that's a hit.
I call lightning.
Now, what will the fiends do?
Okay, something's happening. Somebody's been teleported over here. Oh, fantastic. And people are moving in. Okay. Now, can I hit you from here? I sure can. Arrow fights.
A little to the
Nothing's ever been a little to the right. That's my understanding.
just like have some steel.
Okay, but I'm gonna try and put you ahead of everybody else. I'm just gonna put you get gold. There's a mystic there, fine. And then let's hide here. Hey wizard, you know what's up. You know what I want you to do. Yeah, it only does 1 damage, but it does stun them. Oh, so the other interesting thing is you can discard cards to sort of hurry the bar progress. So that's nice. If it takes 4 turns, but he gets rid of them, that'd be fine. Up here to discard. Great. Hunter's Mark, Behemoth. So they are all getting like what's the word? Class specific. There are cards that are class specific, and then there are universal cards. Oh right, I forgot that guy was right there. All right, you know what? That's on me. Web bomb explodes in a sticky mess. The marked enemy takes more damage and is always visible. Ooh. How much more damage? Melee attack and weaken. Don't know what weaken does. Am I now weakened? No. So you just made an enemy, buddy.
Marked.
Marked revealed. So I know you're right here, but I'm making crits. Yes. Oh my gosh. Double crit? Are you kidding me?
Death take you.
18 damage in a turn is ridiculous. I don't care what class you are. I'm going to bring you up here. And just going to stand you right here. I'm going to bring you back here. And... Ooh, okay. Where can I put a vortex lamp? Oh, I can like put it anywhere in view. Good, let's put it there.
We just need to hit it.
Whoop. And wizard. Oh, did he leave? How did the guy leave? Here's a little guy. Zap. He's juggling that little dude is making me laugh. I don't know. I want to get you over here. And let's stack you up. Get you some vision. That's really the only thing I care about. But the wizards are going to take care of that this turn. So let's get you prepared to open this door. Same as you. You're about as good as you're going to get. Just chill here. I love this coin flip. It's a instant kill or miss. Bosses are immune. And then step 1. Hit him with the big zap. Did I... Wait. Hit him with the big zap. Why is this on cooldown still? Oh, something happened. Oh, die roll. Right. Okay. Normally the camera moves to focus on whatever's coming up. I did change that though. Ooh, a cultist. He's panicking, so I'm not worried. Now let's move over here. Take cover.
Now it's the enemy turn.
Oh! Hey, somebody's coming over here, huh? Interesting, interesting. Ooh! Hurt your own person more, I swear. Alright, well. See, and that's it. We've seen like the game loop at this point. The question is just sort of like, you know, what are we gonna run into? What are who do we encounter? What are we gonna have to deal with, you know? Let's take you out. Let's let someone else take you out, and I'll open the door. Which is maybe a bad move, because... Oh, good, room's empty. Let's just, you know, get him. Oh, my God. See, so the spinning matters, but you can't miss and then still hit, I guess. Feels like cheating to me, I don't know. Just get got.
Don't resist.
And you're like a guy, but who cares?
Enemy turn.
I hear people moving. Okay, good. If they just keep... Whoa! Hey, where... See, I don't know where they came from. We cleared out that room. We cleared out this room, so they've come this long way. I don't know why they didn't just come this way. I guess we have kind of a choke point now. Yeesh. You're a hound. 4, 6, 8. You are... I could be sure to take him out. I could be sure to take him out. Can't take him out, but I could put damage on him. He's going to deal with him. You're going to take out this hound in 1 or 2 hits.
Just
2 hits.
like
Doesn't help get it on the second one. You're going to go up and you're going to teach our friend some manners. Push back. Anybody else? No. Good. Push him this way too. You're going to get that backstab bonus. Oh my god. Unnecessary amount of damage. I love it. And then... I don't know. Just hang out here? Hang out here. I guess. And now the wizard! He attacks for 2, crits for 5. You know what? Damage is damage, though. If we get that crit, that'll just handle it. Do not get that crit. Okay, well, alright.
It is the enemy's turn.
They're going to be confused, and he's going to shoot my wizard. Don't shoot my wizard. How rude of you. Okay, what are you looking at? You have 4 left, so I'm going to go here and hit you with this. And crit.
eat it.
I've come to find that games where your like hit or miss dice rolls are straight up just like one die. This face means you hit. This face means you miss. I've lost my taste for those. It just feels like too simple, I guess. Not that like, you know,
What other monsters do next?
D&D is particularly better when it's just like, okay, their armor class and you got, you know, I don't necessarily want a roll to hit and also a roll to dodge and then also a roll for what your actual damage amount is. Like, I will admit that this game like is finding a nice like streamlined middle ground, and having the cards does mean you have some other interesting options along the way, and yet at the same time I feel like it is it's missing a little je ne sais quoi, you know, because it is just like, yeah, no, I'm gonna move the guys, I'm gonna roll the dice, and I don't know. Heaven's Fury. Strength potion. Ooh. Well, somebody just opened that door, so I want you to stay over here. You are in our second best health, so I want you sitting here. And then the wizard will hide behind you. The wizard's going to bop this one once. Bop. And then the wizard's going to hide behind you.
Cool. My turn. Which means
Okay.
it's the turn.
Oh, I heard another door. Yeah, they're up ins. Oh, Slimeling. Oh no, that's bad. Oh no, that's bad. Okay, so Slimeling. 4 health. So we're just gonna smack him. Just gonna sugar smack him. All right. Okay, so you can't hit the one you missed, but the one that you do hit can be friend or foe. All right. I'll not complain too much about that. What do you got? 12 knockback healing potion. Interesting. The behemoth. Belches fire and thunder at nearby enemies AoE damage. Oh, it's... So I think this is like a ward that will go up and like will be a unit that'll hang around until it's destroyed. Does not say that on the card though. You'll notice I'm just thinking about other cards I've played. All right, do I want to get him out there? Do I want to... I could place an ice lamp and then zap it with the wizard, and that would freeze him. Or I can zap him with the wizard and stun him for a turn anyway, and then get over here and put some hits on. See, this is... I don't know if this works better in VR, but like I want to be from this diagonal, but if I don't draw the right line, it'll move. You have to be very careful if you want it to stay on the diagonal like that. Who are we now? We are you. Oh, interesting. If I attack you from here, then right. Well, hate this. At least it doesn't hit the friend, but then can I then try and get the backstab damage? Yes. Hits is hits. 4 left. Hell yeah. Heck, if this crits, that's the end. If not, he's stunned. Wait, how much damage does Wizard do? Only does 2, so I wouldn't be able to move up and end it, but I could... No, I can't stand there, because then you would be in slime, and you're already poisoned. But I can do this. Oh my gosh, you were still there! Oh, So... I noticed this before, like here, like when you're trying to, first of all, trying to see tiny ones, but also trying to like highlight them and like, I want to pick up my character and I want to hit this guy, not this. Sometimes I have trouble like lining up in the, just from the view. See, drop to inner walls like this was The Sims or something. Well, I'm gonna pick you up because
Up and at it.
you're fine, and then I'm gonna slam on the inkling. Inkling? No. Blap. Fine.
Take that.
Now we're gonna continue to put damage on this guy, although this should be it. That's definitely it.
I will fell you all.
But now what do we do? Already has full armor. What if I discard this? That I can just discard my whole hand. Okay, it doesn't care that much. What if I discard this too? I want that. I want that. I'm not going to get rid of that. So let's, I don't know, do this. Like, not wasting energy on them makes sense because, you know, they're not dealing damage. They're kind of just confusing when they teleport somebody else in. But they seem to teleport somebody close towards the heroes, and nobody's really close to them because they're right here on us because they teleported each other to us. So, you know. You should drink a healing potion. Nope, to the one on the table. You can give healing potions, like the wizard could have given it to another character, which just the archer needs it, really. All right, and healing was free, so that's the first action point.
Foul abomination.
Don't be rude. And if that's not a miss, that's a crit. That's what that is.
God.
And monsters, who comes up the stairs? Elven priest is stepping in slime. Good for you. Good for you. Detect enemies. A beacon that temporarily reveals all enemies in its sight. Ooh. Let me guess. I would have to throw this. No, I can just put it anywhere. Oh. Huh. Well, then this seems like a really strong place to put it.
Setting up a monster detector.
That's an eyeball. Oh, God. That's so many. Oh, but there's the key on the scab rat. That's the rat that eats all your scabs. Oh, dig rat's nest. It makes rat's nests? Ugh. Oh, another font. Okay. Wow, that was really good placement. That tells us like everything we need to know. But also now we do just have to like deal with these folks. Oh, nice crit. What? Where did you come from? Summon cultist? That's not a cultist. That's a goblin Madden. And if I throw the behemoth, like, I don't know. Here? Here.
This will serve.
Ah, it's a smite ward. You watch. This'll get me killed. You watch. You watch. Hey, lure, whirlwind, fireball. These are all good. These are all pretty good. That might be backstab. Don't think I can get the backstab on him. No, here. Backstab. Backstab? Or is it a miss? No, it's a hit. Not a backstab. Interesting.
Don't resist.
I mean, I always have a problem with that with like actual miniatures. It's just like, okay, put an arrow on them to say front, so that way you know when you're actually in backstab. That was there's something that like Mage Knight did, which I thought was really good. Is I guess all the hero click stuff, but on the base, because they all had the like unified base, it put an arrow, front arc, back arc. So it's just like, no, yeah, if you're measuring and it crosses this side of the circle, that's backstab hit. It's like, all right, good, great, got it, thank you. So I'm gonna put you here, and I'm gonna zap you because please chill out for like a turn instead of hurting my friends. Then the ward goes. Good, only hit him. Oh, did it take the stun off? No, he's still stunned. Stuff's happening over there. Okay, they're approaching. Oh no, my ward. Oh, yeah, I want to blanket an arrow, or blanket an area with arrows. What is the numbers on this? It'll do 4 or 8. So it'll definitely take out that cultist. Good. I don't want to deal with the cultist.
Die, fiends. Eat it.
Eat it. Now let's just ping. Alright.
Aim is
7 left. What can I do with 7? Alright. I could... If I do piercing throw, that'll hit... No, it's out of range. And also it would hit the friendly, so I don't really want to do that. Whirlwind... I don't think I can get... Oh, I could get down there from doing whirlwind. But then I would hit the thing again. So let's just, you know... head over there. See what happens. Can I do it now? I could. And it would do 5 against 7. And then I think I have a chance to take it out. Yeah, let's just do it. Ooh. Oh, I still have blink. I can blink against you, and it puts you in backstab range. You know what? It gets it done.
Nothing.
Okay, and now let's start running back. Because now that we have the key, we can get out of here. Let's zap. Let's zap you again. Just keep you zapped. And let's go. Let's go. And now our turret's gonna go and hurt them. Ooh, almost did it.
It is the enemy's turn.
Still going after the ward. It's okay. I don't care about that anymore. We're running, and I think we're gonna run faster. Okay, well, he's the one that we're gonna zap. So let's go. He doesn't have like a... There doesn't seem to be any like counter hits. Oh, big crits! Yeah, big crits. Cool. If that was a double crit, that would have been amazing. But okay. Now let's get here and just deal with them. This guy wasn't expecting everyone to come this way. Oh, God, and the crit. I almost feel bad for him. Let's go and let's go. We're going and we're going. I don't want to break everybody up too much. Cool. Rip. He only had 1 health left. I know that for a fact. Oh, somebody made it. Somebody made it and did 6 damage. All right, let's go. I don't want to meet up with that. Open rat's nest. Ugh. 12 points. Ugh. I'm just going to keep going. Maybe I'll have you stand in front of the rat's nest just to block it in case something gross like rats tries to come out. Ooh, can I zap the rat's nest? Maybe if it's... never mind. Oh, if you hit my guy here. Okay. Ooh!
My turn, which means
Okay. Okay. All right, that's the end of that. Hey, we gotta run. Oh, my friends. Oh, can I just hit it? I can't because it's still locked. Okay. Then you're gonna take up position here. Feet nearby enemies. One. Oh, I gotta take it out. Oh, okay. This could go bad then, actually, if it's going to, because I'm gonna pop that, and then it's gonna be 2 spiders. Well, what does it have? It has 2, so that's 1 arrow. The other arrow, I think, kills one of the spiders. You need to get over there and kill the other spider, and then what's their face? Sneaky Stealthy comes over with the key and opens the door. All right, you're gonna zap again because. Oh, you didn't even zap the first time. That's right. Well, you're gonna actually zap this time, and then go.
cool. My turn, which means monster turn.
Uh-huh. Oh, no. Line of sight. Okay. Arrow.
Straight as an arrow.
Lap.
Take that.
Now I need to defeat 2. Right. Other arrow. Far one?
Straight.
Okay, handled.
Take that.
Now, you... What? Yeah, but... What? Okay. That's the other one.
I'll skew.
So now it's locked, and we're gonna unlock. And it goes automatically. And that is the end of the demo. That is... Whew. And that was... So... first of all, that is a pretty long one map. That was... Yeah, like, kind of spot on, like, 45 minutes for one. I want to say every, like, scenario is 3 maps like that, or, like, 2 in a boss. So, man, so, like, even as a VR game, you're kind of asking up to 4 people to stay in VR for, like, upwards of 90 minutes, and that is, like... I love being in VR. I can do that, but for a lot of folks, that is a heck of an ask. So I would hope the the desktop gets long. I'll be honest though, like I got the Super Dungeon Explorer game, or we could go play Card Hunter one night. And in terms of like a game where you get this sort of tactical and card base and other things going on, like. I got some other games we could look at that I think are a little meatier than this game is. I think this game is like great. I think this game is like simple enough to be an easy pitch, and you can kind of just say, "What if HeroQuest was in VR?" Great, but like, if you looked at this and you thought like, "Oh, this is just kind of like really like almost like I was saying with Golfie last demo, the idea of like, do you want a game that is got that little bit of puzzleness of just like, how can I just last and make this one thing happen? And like it's pretty good, but I feel like I'm like if this were a D&D battle, right? I feel like this is the boring kind of D&D battle because nobody was like, oh, I want to, hurl this piece of the environment at them. I want to, climb up on this tree and do something interesting. Like it is solid and pretty clean, but there's not a lot of like space around the edges for really interesting stuff. It is like very much like a straightforward. And like you saw how many cards I had, and the only ones that I really used were like arrows because they were respawnable. Cards were not coming, fast and furious. There was a lot of stuff that I was like sitting on, and almost like what if every cool ability, what if all the cool stuff you could do had, potion paralysis on it? It's just like I'm gonna have all of these cards and never use any of them, even though they're the coolest stuff because they're consumable, and I don't know if I'm using them at the best time, and I don't know if, when the next one's really going to be. So it's... There are other games of this ilk that I like more, but that's really solid, and as something else to play in VR, you really can't turn that down, but, like... At some point, like, I should try it in VR, because the thing that I will say is a game like this... I think one of the best parts of a game like this is playing it with other people, is having, the sort of laughing around the table, talking about what's going on, having your sort of GM style player, having that little bit of like, there's then an opportunity for that playful ribbing. But in this, like, and I've said this for a while, but I think one of the best things about VR is the telepresence. Like when you see, even if it's just, head and hands, when you see something moving like a person and waving at you, you go, oh dang, that's a person. And so maybe you can get some of that sort of like table play, that table socializing in the VR with voice chat and with hand and pointing and gesturing and talking out moves and all of that. But as this experience that we just had of like a single player game, a single player tactics game, it's not it's not crunchy enough for what I'm looking for, you know. And even in Hero Quest, you're rolling like handfuls of dice, right? And they're custom dice and they're kind of weighted just the same, but like this is the game design thing I've sort of landed on in the last couple of years. It's just like it's fun to roll more dice. It's fun to roll a handful of dice. At some point, if you're rolling like 15 dice and if you got to add up 15 dice, no longer fun. If you're checking 15 dice for, you know, 4s and overs set aside, all right, we can kind of talk. But yeah, if you're rolling between like 2 and 7 dice and checking for hits versus misses and not doing any math, that is like the sweet spot of a fun thing to do at a table with dice. And it's just like, so like that's kind of actually my problem with rolling 1d12 for every attack. It's just like, like it makes sense. It is solid. It is basic, but it is solid. It's like easy to work with. It's easy to like pay attention to and to know, you know, probabilities and stuff. But it's not as exciting. It's you know, it's one of those like human things. It's like humans are dumb and things that don't actually matter in terms of just like perception and what it can do to excitement and things like that. And like I like to roll a handful of dice. There you go. Thank you for playing the demo. All right. Let me drop us out of here, and I will pick the next demo we look at. Which, let's see here. I have one that I think has a little bit of meat, and I have one that I think is going to be very quick. So let's look at the quick one, and then we'll look at what might be a meaty one. And we are now out of the realm of games that I've checked out. I'll give a shout out. There were 2 other games that I played demos for that I've already decided is not really a fun time for me or isn't really good stream fodder. And that's Line War, which is really interesting. There's a lot I want to give it credit for. It is trying to be an RTS where you never click on a unit, like you never give commands directly to like a single unit, which is what got my attention to it. Is sort of the idea of like, oh no, this is going to be a game about sort of like, there's no, is that macro or micro? That's micro. It's like, this is a game without micro. This is a game where you are sort of, it's called Line War because you never command a unit. Instead, you issue like strategy level commands. So you will draw a line on the map, and any units close enough to that line will follow that command to the end of the line and, you know, attack on the way or do whatever. But you are basically assigning these zones that say, hey, anything close enough to this order, follow this order. And you can sort of filter to be like, it's like, okay, here are 3 lines next to each other. One says, you know, infantry units move and ignore attacking, like armored units move and attack to, I guess, as be a way to, like, you know, protect the infantry who are moving, and then aerial units move and, you know, patrol, whatever. So like you can filter the command. So then it becomes this weird thing of just like, yeah, you're not, so I guess the like it becomes this weird thing because you're doing like as much work in terms of commanding a single group of units, and you're doing it in this like this modality that RTS players aren't necessarily used to, because you are addressing, you know, these like sort of physical commands on the world map rather than to the individual units. But it does make sense when you get into the like, it reminded me, I think it made me think of, what do you call it? Like Total Annihilation, when you would sort of like set rally points for buildings yeah, like facility buildings, and just be like, oh yeah, no, a barrack. When a dude spawns out of a barrack, go walk over here. Whether that's just to like, the like a staging area or directly to the front line. I bet you, because I would send him directly to the front line, I bet you that is not the smart play. I've never been good at RTS games. But it did have a little more, like it's talking about like you can have basically like move, which then you can filter what follows the path, what attacks, what ignores attacking, sort of things like that. You can have like transport vehicles. You can make transport vehicles, and they'll figure out, yeah, if you need to get these other units from shore to shore, it'll figure it out, and it'll be like, okay, what units at the endpoints of my line are trying to follow in order to get to the other shore, I will transport them. Like, it can figure out stuff like that. And then there's a concept of an entrenching line, which you sort of put parallel, and it creates a defensive line. Units will entrench to get a defensive bonus. And you kind of end up like drawing these lines of like, okay, no, we're going to like address like basically like when you zoom out, you get this sort of battle, which is like the only things you're really issuing is like higher level concepts of like troop movement from facilities to the front line, and these lines of like where the front line of the battle is. And I think that's kind of interesting, but it really was like, I like what they're trying to do with the idea of sort of like bringing your input to higher levels of strategy rather than your micro. But I don't think it really plays out in the way that they meant for it to, because you never select an individual unit, but you want to talk about selecting individual like buildings, so that way you're filtering, who's building what's going on. You still have to deal with, input and output, and there's a lot of like macro things that you need to juggle, and just the work of defining all the different commands. And you like, even though you're not doing, individual units, you're still sort of working in terms of like, okay, well, this is a command that I'm issuing to all my tanks, and this is a command I'm issuing to all of my infantry. And like, it's not actually meaningfully far enough away from just having like command groups in a traditional RTS to really matter that much, I think. Again, not that I've ever been good at those games, but from my understanding of those games, I actually think the most interesting thing it does, which again, I think it's interesting, but it is very sort of antithetical to a lot of like traditional RTS games and what fans expect from that genre. There are no handmade maps in that game. Every map is procedurally generated, and honestly, they look a lot like Risk maps of just sort of like territories with jagged edges all around each other. And it's like, oh, this one is kind of mountainous, and this one is water, and this one is this, and this one has a city built in it. And I love it as like, they look like Risk maps is the thing about which I've always been interested in, trying to like fix Risk and make a much better game out of it. I don't necessarily think Legacy did the best job of that. I think they did a lot of work to it, but I don't think it ultimately addressed some of the fundamental issues with Risk. Different discussion. But it has like in trying to do something interesting with RTS games, I think they came up with an interesting solution to a problem in Risk, which is there is so the maps are randomly generated. You can pick any location to be your spawn point, but both players are picking blindly. And if both players pick either the same territory or like territories within like 3 adjacencies of each other, then the game says, both players wanted this. Clearly that means this is a strong starting location, or the strongest starting location. So it like bans the whole area and says, this is too strong of a starting point. nobody can start here. And then people like go down to like their second strongest. And eventually I guess what happens is, or the way I imagine that they imagine that plays out is like players keep picking the same strongest starting point until all of the like clearly best starting points are weeded out, and then you end up at like points that are around the same average power to the point where it becomes arbitrary which one you pick. And then those strong, but would there still be like, you know, fairly equidistant from those strong points, which then the game becomes about like in wanting to pick the best point, you are actually identifying a great objective for the map, and then that becomes what the battle focuses on for the rest of the game. And I think that's a great idea in terms of just like letting player choices actually letting it uses player recognition and like assessment of the map. It is using that instead of trying to generate its own algorithm for figuring out what is like, you know, best important places. It just says everybody wants this, so clearly that's the best. You have to start a certain distance from it until it's just like, yeah, no, and then you'll get there. Like it is, I would love to like see like recaps of other matches played in that game, because I am really curious of like how it plays out differently from a regular RTS, and I would love to see how that that sort of starting point choosing, it's not necessarily drafting, but I mean it's kind of a drafting phase. I would love to see how that phase goes, but it is not different enough from normal RTSs, except for being more sort of counterintuitive, especially if you know, come from an RTS background, that like it is not for me and it is harder for me to play. And there, you know, as the demo, it is like multiplayer or sandbox only. And I'm like, I cannot make any judgments on this game. And that was not going to be good stream content either. And while I'm at it, before we go into it, into the next one, there was another game called Minimal Dungeon RPG, I believe is what it was called. Which it was trying to be. That's the thing. I'm not really sure what it was trying to be. I love the idea of it, because the idea was, basically every dungeon room or zone is represented as a bunch of squares on like a not a real grid, but you know, like almost like a mosaic tile. And it's just like, okay, this one is a group of pots, click it to smash the pots and you get some gold. And this one is a monster and you click it to attack, and you know, it does the thing where like you deal damage and you take damage in the one action, and it's just a matter of like, it's like as long as your HP can outlast theirs, then you will win the fight after you click on it enough times to kill it. I don't remember what I'm thinking of that used that same. Was it Desktop Dungeons, or it was something like that? But like, you know, it is using things we've seen before. And like, oh, you killed the monsters, you killed the boss monster, so you got a key, and you can use the key to, you can spend it to click on the treasure chest square over in this room, and you get some equipment, and that ups your stats, and you know, it's doing all of this stuff. But it also does this weird thing where it comes down to like, there was like a lot of busy work in it. So like there are like digging points, right? It's like once you get a pickaxe and you can clear out stone, and clearing out stone takes like 4 to 6 clicks, and each click uses a certain amount of AP, and AP regenerates over time. But it's also like, I'm not going to not just click this thing until it's done. It's because, like, monsters never attack you. Nothing happens without you picking to do it. Like, everything waits for you. And at that point, it's just like, well, either then just, like, let me do it. Why do we have AP forcing me to stop? Or, be like, oh, you need 15 AP instead of, like, 4 AP per click to do this. And then just go by whether I have enough or not, or if I need to, like, come back after I've leveled up and put more in AP or something, And it was like, it felt like it was trying to be a clicker, because it's just like, oh no, you're going to do all of the stuff that you can't die to in order to get the most levels you can. And then you're going to do all the fights, and then you're going to spend all the gold to get all the upgrades, if you don't need them for the fight. So it was also a very clear, like, an easy puzzle to solve when it comes to the order you do things in. So, like, I like the way that it was trying to, sort of, like, abstract everything. And, like, I appreciate it trying to do that, but I don't think it thought of anything too interesting to do once it did that. And it was just like, oh no, this is now just sort of like a no challenge, no, like, it just became busy work at that point. And it didn't even have, like, great graphics or like, new monster types to find, because everything was just text on boxes. And it's just like, It tried to do something, and I just think it did not pull it off. I don't know where it would go from there. I don't know how it would get interesting. And then it seemed like there was already something in place for, like, a real money gem store, and I'm just like, ooh, uh-oh. But I did play it, and I got through the whole demo of it. And the other reason we're not playing it on the stream just to look at it is because when I got to the end of the demo, it said, thank you for playing. And then when I restarted it, it immediately said, thank you for playing, and quit. So I cannot, like, replay the demo now that I've played it. And it was not interesting enough to go look into how to delete my cloud saves to actually get a fresh save on it. So that's how uninteresting that game was to me. Right, now we have talked about everything that I have already played, and I want to talk about toy tanks. Toy tanks, just in general, I'm already out here talking about how much I like tactics games, and war games are definitely in that realm. But I also like toy tanks. I'm a fan of Scorched Earth. I am a fan of Combat for the Atari 2600. And this seems like it's going somewhere in there. This is going to be multiplayer only, isn't it? Hey, you doing anything? Oh, okay. Ooh. Spectator. Oh, I gotta be my boy Blue Tank. I'm ready. Oh, wait. Okay, hang on. So, whoa, boy. Okay, start. Here. Add bot. Wait. Wait. Here. Add bot C. Okay. Let's go with red, green, and yellow. Okay. Now we're playing a video game. Okay, okay. Campaign options. Normal, hard. Let's do normal. Retro. Tanks have less health, fewer... Is that like normal? So, this seems like it is in the spirit of like a combat. Maybe in a more modern reference point, it's trying to be like a... What if Towerfall was combat instead? Brawler. Player movement is enhanced. Player shots no longer deal damage. Oh, interesting. Jelly Bean. A new random tank. Okay. Team play. Chaotic. All tanks are amped up. Evolved. All enemy tanks become their elite variants. Enemy? Huh. I wonder if there is like a single player mode then maybe. Chosen. One enemy is chosen. They're stronger than normal and also invincible until all their enemies are destroyed. All as one. Rainbow. Dracula. Players start each level with 1 health When destroying an enemy tank, gain 1 health. Okay. Kill shot. Alright, so that's 1 in the chamber. Stopwatch. You have exactly 1 minute to complete each level. Oh, okay, campaign options. So maybe I don't need a second. Maybe I don't need bots. Alright, let's go. Let's just start. Normal. Let's do it. Oh, alright. Yeah. Good. I thought this was going to be multiplayer only. Do anything to start. Left click to shoot. Ooh. Right click to dash. Okay, we're going to be like this. Alright. Okay. Oh, shots bounce. Oh, exciting. Okay. Cardboard castles. Okay. Right, because they're toy tanks, so... What is the green? Is that supposed to be like grass? Ah, it slows you down. Alright, shots cancel shots. Why can you jump? Oh, I love it. But why can you jump? It's for reasons like this. Oh! I can dash through the grass. That's pretty good. Hits. Whoa, he has multiple health. I'm going again. I'm glad there doesn't actually seem to be a difference between the front and the back of the tank. They are just... Whichever way you're going, it'll decide, yeah, that's... Whichever side was closest is now the front for whatever way you want it to move. Oh, is he regenerating health as I don't shoot him? If I can jump, does that mean I can jump over shots? Okay, being into red does seem to hurt me. Oh, the physics-based is goofy. Yeah, these fools can't aim up. They're like dogs or gamers. Come get me. Gonna jump. I didn't. Oh, he's got the dodgies. Okay, you can jump dash. Exciting. Oh, that bullet deflected upwards off of the ramp. It is nice that they have colored player and enemy shots differently. You can use water like a trampoline. What? Oh, look at the color on that boy. Don't say it like that though. I take it back. Oh. Ooh. We've got a ace pilot over here. Shoutouts to Ace Diablo. Oh! No, I dig it. Just a little bit of a... This reminds me of... What does this remind me of? Well, I mean, obviously combat, because, you know, it's like clearly calling out to those memories, that gameplay, that, you know, the paint job of that even, of being tanks. But if you've never played Rocket Fist is pretty good. To be a game about oh right, you're invincible when dashing. Oh, but you still take the physics impulse. Great. Love to see it. Oh my guy. You know, games about drawing lines with shots, so I'm still gonna say Towerfall. I'm gonna say guns and crates, guns and boxes, whatever that was called. Which is very much just like a four-way shooter, Bomberman, top-down kind of stuff. Not exactly the most interesting thing in the world, but fun enough if you're just having like a couch co-op night. I love games like this. They're super simple. They don't bring that much exciting to the party, but I'm always glad to see them at the party. See, I can fire 2 shots. What makes my second shot recharge? Ugh. Is it a health thing? Come on. Yeah! Oh boy, there's a bunch of these, huh? Let's check out the other one. Alright, so you can jump over shots. Whoa! Woo-ha! Oh, that's nice. Oh, so the tanks are telling us they're color-coded to what their, like, function is? What their techniques? Alright, I was not expecting kick flips on these tanks. And you can hurt yourself. Great. Right here. Ooh! Oh. Oh, he did not react to the ricochet shot. Yeah, this is... I'd actually heard about this before the next fest. It was like a, hey, check out this thing on Itch.io kind of deal. Yeah. And this feels like something you would see on Itch.io. Oh, a mine layer. Again, not to say anything about it at all. But it seems like it's a bit light, straightforward. Yeah, it seems fun, but you gotta you are bringing a lot of your own fun to it in a way. That was such a cool flipsies. God, yeah, I can do double dash. I can do double shot. Triple shot. Where did that come from? There's definitely something going on with like my charge meters that I am just not grokking. Oh, you can just shoot the mines too. That makes sense. I also just kind of like tank games. Like kind of whatever form they come in. Rip to Tokyo Warfare Extreme. No, Tokyo Warfare Turbo? Okay. Last guy. I just gotta get my timing right. Oh yeah, that is different charge bars. Oh, that is so tiny, but I think that is saying I have 3 shots and 2 dashes. Yeah, I can barely see those. The painted piers. Alright, let's... Oh, gotta do them in order. Oh, show me this one. All these backgrounds look the same. Oh, whoa, hey, whoa! Okay, maybe There's something a little more intense in here. Oh. Worm motion affects bullets. Oh, yeah, that's like a short range. Almost like a faux flamethrower. Whoa, okay. Can we destroy that? No. Okay, I just got to deal with that. It keeps us out of the center. Did not get my jump game right. What if I just get right up on... Oh, now he's a tank. And I'm in the lava? Alright, you know what? Maybe there's something here. They're doing something fun with this campaign mode. And I am... Cool, yeah. Now, please don't ask me to tell you if I'm having like a fun time with this right now. I think my my brain is a little too out of it to be able to tell you that or not anyway, but gosh, and then he just gets me. Well, I must be doing something right because I'm still playing it. Yeah, that shockwave is doing damage as well as pushing me, isn't it? And it seems to be per tank I destroy, so that's pretty easy to know when it's coming. Oh! Yep, what's up? Come on, that's been my best yet. Uh-huh. I should not get hit by that. I think would be good for my tanking career. Now you're up there. You'll have to come through here. Go! But then what if I was stuck? He seems to have a severe... Oh, I left! He seems to have a severe what? I was saying a sentence. Severe slow turning rate on his turret, which would be good because then that would actually mean that I'm saved. Ugh. By just outrunning him. Oh, this is gonna go bad. Yeah, he's also got the limited, so if I can like sniper shot him. Oh yeah, like that. Oh, I wasn't on the ground. Oh! Oh, I got him. I got the big boy. Ah, you know what? Maybe this game's fine. This is like another one of those where I'm like, oh, it feels like a mobile game. It feels like a light experience. And it's just like, yeah, it doesn't have to be derogatory. You can have fun time with a very slight game. Whew. Alright, let's look at one more. Okay, red was the jumpy. Oh, he's got homing bullets. Oh, they dodge. Oh, but then he tries to kite back to his location. Yep. Nope. What if we go? What if we go? Uh-huh. Okay. Goodbye. You just have the one big... Oh, no! He has multiple big bullets! I just gotta... I can kind of just get up around him, though. Okay, so there is a ricochet effect, but it's not very big. Woohoo! It's no mech warrior, but... I'll let my shots recharge. Oh! Alright, let's see. Okay, now escape goes directly to... options. Right, and these tanks have stats. Oh, and it's showing me the my records for all the levels I've completed as that tank. Okay. I don't think I would play 30 levels 4 times, or would I? Ooh. That's actually an interesting question. Let's be green this time. Retro. Chaotic Brawler, Dilly Bean, Team Play. What if we were Dracula? What if we were Retro? Oh, okay, we can combine them. Let's try easy Retro. Let's go over here. Single shots. Ooh, and that dodge barely does anything. Cool. 2 shots. But I also don't see... Ah! It made me make a noise. Okay, so the dodge won't really dodge for you, but now you do get, I guess you still get the invulnerability off of it. I like the one shot, one kill. Just makes it feel lethal. Makes you feel skilled when you're the one who gets the kill. You know, I no longer think all games trend towards insta-gib, but sometimes I still feel it in my heart. That still feels true, you know? Oh, those are low walls. Oh, oh. Interesting. Hey, look at me. I'm like a little guy. So you're telling me... Oh, I could go for some shrimp fried rice right now. Yeah, maybe those are boss levels that they're not gonna put in. Or maybe it's different because it's retro mode. What the? Oh, okay, I thought they all fired when I fired. Whoa. Nope, that's a miss. God, made him jump. Hardcore. How come sometimes the shot is red? Yeah, the short range. Oh, we came back. Oh, I'm in trouble. Ah, but I dodged into it. All right, you know what? I think we've gotten a pretty good idea of what this game is. It's cute. I could see having fun with this. I guess this is my thought. Wait, do you deal damage by charging into tanks? Ooh, that's an interesting question. Oh. Wait, these tanks are like spawning? Do I need to just like get my way in here? Whoa! What made that happen? All right, I'm not thinking about this too much more right now. As fun as this may be, I think I've had my fill for the moment. Let's look at one more. So I'm pretty sure this is a demo for a game that existed. This is Kao the Kangaroo, and I thought that was like a PS2 game. Wasn't it? Am I crazy? Oh, why are you starting Steam VR? Oh, could you not do that? Oh, could you not do that, please? I'm going to ask you to not do that. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Do I want to play this with a... Here we go. I want to play this with a controller, I bet. This looked like... So, I think I have ukulele. I've never played properly a Banjo-Kazooie, unless you count Nuts and Bolts, which I think is the best Banjo-Kazooie game and also doesn't count as a Banjo-Kazooie game. And those facts going hand in hand, I think, actually tell the much larger story. All right. Aim, throw. Change gloves' charge. Finisher, interaction. Neck strike while ear walking. Help. Roll. Dash, attack, stomp, jump. 3-punch combo attack. Grapple in air, tail attack. Okay. But I assume Kao the Kangaroo is one of those, like, platformer adventures, 3D platformers. And then I saw this, and I was just like, what? Isn't this game existed?
No one saw? That was lucky. Wouldn't want that on RuTube.
I'm glad subtitles were on, because I was able to prepare myself for hearing that out loud.
Jeez! Where's the rest of you?
Work in progress. Old and mystical method. Spirit walk.
Awesome! Maybe I can learn that one day.
Maybe. But now, focus. Find the terror. If you need me, I'm here.
I played, God, what was the last game I played in this vein? In your collectathons. Oh, the double jump into the spin attack for a little bit more. That's your Crash Bandicoot. That's your Jak and Daxter. That's... Okay. They're just doing one of these. You know what? There was a time in my life... No, I take that back. I was never really one for these games. Not out of any particular distaste for them, but just because, like, they were never really the ones I got my hands on. I had the original Crash Bandicoot, and then that was it. I know you've got to love the glove, but that's... Oh, his name is Bomb. Okay, then. Ah, stay away. But the last game like this that I did play, yeah, if we're not counting the short time where I went back to Crash Bandicoot 1 for some just absolutely unknown reason. Hey, what set you off? Was probably Super Lucky's Tale, which, you know, was fun enough. These are like, I feel like these are an underrated like meditation game. You know, like people talk about Power Wash Simulator. X plus A. Oh, yeah. People talk about like Power Wash Simulators. It's like, no, yeah, you just you go in and you zone out and you just do this task that's in front of you. And like, Brody, what a stinker. Like, what if that, but also you were like a wisecracking cartoon? No, wait, I said it out loud, and I kind of understand how that's actually maybe a problem with the concept, not a, hey, secrets. Not part of the sales pitch. What? Wow. Hey, whoa, hey. But you know, I'm trying to think of like what was the last one of the? Okay, I guess also maybe No, I was about to say bring up Hat in Time because I did play a bunch of that. But Hat in Time did the Mario 64 thing, and I think, you know, the Mario 64 lesson that nobody like correctly learned is that was not, you know, it was not a collectathon. Like, yes, sort of like ultimately the thing that progressed the game is collecting the stars, and you collect the coins to keep your health up and all of that, and there's a lot of things in every area to sort of revisit and collect. But it's not actually just collecting. The whole thing about Mario was that like every zone, like every collectible was a puzzle to solve, you know? Hey, here we go. I do like the look of this. If this was a cartoon, I like the style. I guess it is a cartoon. I don't know. But like I think that's where like this you can kind of look at it as like the split in the 3D adventure game, 3D platformer subgenres is like, okay, did you follow in, you know, Mario where these are like, you know, it's the sandbox design where there's like a bunch of like puzzles to solve and you know, things to explore and like mini puzzles to solve in one area versus this, which is just about traversing the area and exhausting the area rather than actually, you know, trying to solve anything, rather than, you know, it's like, do you have few things to collect but interesting ways to get your hands on them, or do you have a lot of things to collect and uninteresting ways to get your hands on them, you know? Heck yeah. And Hat in Time, I think, did a good job of being the former. It was it is very much about like, yeah, no, there's, you know, we'll tell you right up ahead, like there's less than a dozen things to get per level. But the way that you get each one is interesting. What you are saying is we have 11 interesting things in this level, as opposed to something like this. Oh, is there like a combo meter that's building up? Okay. Whereas you look at something like this and you're saying, okay, well, we have, you know, 600 things per level. And it's like, good for you. Are any of them interesting to get? Not really. You walk forward. It's like, oh, all right, see you later then. Oh, okay. Now I'm in anger mode. Ooh. Oh, can I break these doors down too? Oh. Why are they D coins? Rise and shine gamers, gotta get that D coin. Gotta get those D brackets coins. Huh. But yeah, like I don't know. Probably in my gut, I am saying that the, you know, few collectibles, but they're all interesting to get, is the better game design than the Million Thing Collectathon. But you know, it's like I started out by saying I think these games have a place, and I think there is still like a mode, a mindset you can be in where this is super enjoyable. Like, people like those the Jak and Daxter, the Ratchet and Clank. Like, does Ratchet and Clank count? Yeah, I think those games like definitely count. They're a lot of things. I think those got a lot of play by being like really story and like cutscene heavy.
Gloves really helped me give those frogsters a smacking. I don't see what the fuss is about. They're just normal gloves.
You call a powerful artifact normal? A stuffed toy is normal.
Hey, you leave Mr. Beaver out of this. Hey, what is that thing?
Don't!
It's not me!
Oh, finally. We could not suffer listening to that boring old fart for a moment longer.
So it's true. You really are corrupted.
We do not know each other, and yet you are already insulting us? Maybe we shall get along after all.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh, and so shatter our hopes once more so soon. Oh, well. I am the Eternal Gloves, and what you see before you is the Eternal World.
Okay. Okay, so maybe there's like a yeah, there's some sort of like phasing element to this. Whoa, hey, bye. That's right, I can just stand in water. Can't punch in water. Good butt stomp. So you're saying if I hit this... Okay, and then it grows out of here. Alright. We're going to go over here. It's going to be this. And, okay, more over here. What's up there? I don't care about just coins. I assume I should care more about diamonds.
Where were you? You know, taking a stroll in the Eternal World, having a nice talk with the gloves. The Eternal Gloves, to be precise.
What? You spoke with the gloves? Your dad did not. Not once.
You mean they wanted to talk to me? They chose me.
You overestimate. Do not. Be careful with them. In the Eternal World, you are alone. I cannot enter.
Jealous?
I have no idea where these accents are supposed to be from. Or are from? I do not have a worldly ear. Oh, okay. Boomerang totems. Hit the stone head and grab an internal throwable boomerang. Okay. Cha. Okay. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Super Lucky Tail. Super Lucky Tail was fun because, what was it fun? I mean, it was novel because it was in VR, and I do like to just hang around in a cool space in VR. Oh, it's between. But yeah, it's whew, that's a lot. The idea of these games being what's the word? I don't have any more words. I don't want to say like insubstantial, but inoffensive, I think is the word I want. Attack. Oh, deflect projectiles. Now we're talking. Also, are we really saying that this game is the son of the original Kao the Kangaroo? Ooh. Available in final game. Currently locked. Okay. Okay. Yeah, jumping challenges. Why not? Okay. Oh, it's full. Gotcha. They're inoffensive. They're a good time. They're something to... The thing that I'll give a game like this over something like Power Wash Simulator is like... At the very least, in a game like this, you'll usually end up, like, you know, going across multiple biomes. I like to go to a ice castle zone. I like to go to a white castle zone. Oh, I'm hungry. I know what I'm doing once the stream's over. Ooh. Okay, so you can charge up your rage meter. And do like a super? It's got like an AoE stun on it? Alright. Yeah, I think these games get more hate than they deserve. Like, do they bring anything particularly interesting to the table? Rarely? But so what? They don't hurt. They're fun. This is, you know what? This is... I wasn't sure what order to play these games in tonight, but honestly, playing this this is like a... kind of like a nice palate cleanser. It's a nice cooldown is what it is. I'm alright with this. Oh, that's jumpy. Okay. Can I go all the way up? Oh. I got my face. I love to find my own face in video games. There you go. The fire spitter. Ooh! Root fish. Yep, that's... Oh, it homes. Oh, it homes. Uh-oh. Ooh, what was that? Okay, only jumping attack deflects. Okay. I gotta go. Hey, buddy. Nope. Okay. Oh, is this the point where I try and shit talk Souls games? No, I shouldn't do that. But I don't think I can help myself. Well, just... Okay. Follow me here. Don't take this seriously, but follow me here for a second. If each of these coins was like a single shitty zombie who could kill you, this is a Souls game. Wait. Can I even as a gag make that argument hold up? I don't think so. But just like, hey, what if we... Wow, okay, so it killed me, but it didn't reset my lives. That's rude. kind of like just go forward. We're gonna do the same thing over and over again. It's like, oh yeah, you got a million little guys you want to fight. I totally hit him with that. That's like the first time I hit somebody with the boomerang. It's the same thing over and over again until the point where arguably it gets more tedious than fun. It's kind of the most interesting thing you can do is see new and interesting locations as you travel around the world. This could be hub based. Who knows? Okay. Can I just? Yep. Okay. Are we gonna get some kind of like? Oh no, it is just like that. I was gonna say, we're gonna get some sort of like power and like jump and invert gravity or something. Oops. Uh-huh. Oh, okay. There's a hard piece up there. It's nice to have something that, like... okay, no. Maybe a more reasonable comparison is, like... Mario Odyssey aside, because I have not gotten a chance to play that yet, but like there is something to be said about a lot of modern Mario games where it's just, you know, just go through the level. Like there's no like real reward for it. It's not necessarily interesting. It's not even that challenging a lot of the times. It's just like do the task. We're going to put a task in front of you. You're going to do the task. Hey, that's video games, right? And this is no worse than that. Like, again, I'll give it the credit. This is at least also being like a cool, funny cartoon, and I'm down with that. What did that open up? Oh, do I just have to hit both of them at the same time? Yes. Dang it. Did I need this? It's Theo. You at least gotta give it credit. Cow is a short name to have to spell for a part of your collectathon. Do we think this is a puzzle? Is this a sliding block puzzle? Okay, no, it's a... Okay, okay. Oh, wait. Oh, hello. Ah, right, okay. I mean, I can also say this as, like, I put a lot of time into not all the Lego games, not most of the Lego games, but Lego Dimensions, which was not a great game. That was basically a game for making you buy Legos. But here's a secret. I was going to buy Legos anyway. So then I got a mediocre video game out of it. So who's the real loser here? Hey, my guy, your physics is a little whack. Is this done? It's done at least. Yeah, not everything needs to challenge you. Sometimes you just want to do something easy because it's enjoyable to, like, you know, explore a place, get something easy done. Not even to get something easy done. Sometimes you just want to move your hands in an enjoyable way. You know what? So far, this is all right. Interesting? Eh, not really. I'm having a good time. And except for a couple of clipping issues, it's also been pretty solid so far. Not broken. One of the best first steps you can take. Oh, is that what happens? I guess. Do kind of wish I could just keep that roll going. Become a wheel. Okay, well, but now, so that's going to take a heart away and a, maybe not a life. Okay, I guess not a life. That's fine then. Oh, hey, you gonna serve me a drink? Good job getting rid of those frogsters, Kao. Look, they dropped one of those ruins. Should now have enough to open the way to Terror's lair. I know what this dude sounds like. I heard him, and he didn't sound like that. That's how everyone sounds in my mind, I guess. Good. Things should react. Good. Listen, not everyone wants to play good games. I know I certainly don't. That's only 3, isn't it? Yeah. I wonder if we'll get a 4th one by the end of the demo. Oh, I didn't. There was another map? Missed 2 diamonds? Okay. And that's it. That's the demo. That's a one level demo. Y'all can't see this coming up on the screen. That's fine. There's a trailer. You know what? If I want to know more about it, I can watch a trailer on my own. Hey, listen, folks. Thank you for joining me this evening on a little demo derby of our own. God, everyone on my friends list is playing Elden Ring. I'm not jelly at all, I swear. No, I'm actually not. There are plenty of those games that I have access to that I wasn't interested enough to finish them then, and if I really want to touch another Souls game, I can go back to those. I don't need a new one that's going to frustrate me enough to... Anyway, there was a tweet thread yesterday. Don't go read it. Save yourself the trouble. These were fun. A cute mix of games. Just some more interesting than others. All of them I had fun with. And there's a bunch more out there. Like, I just scrolled through the Next Fest list for about, 10 minutes, and I just grabbed a handful of the ones that I thought were interesting, or that I already knew about but wanted to check out. And not a waste of my time. Yeah, no, of course not. But a fun time. Just honestly, even when I checked out Line War and Minimal Dungeon, not my cup of tea, not my style of games, but like honestly just to broaden horizons, seeing what's going on, like the fact that something I learned from Line War is actually going to be sort of my going to make me interested in or is giving me an idea for a way to fix something in another game. Like no waste of time. Everything was either fun or it was at least something you could learn from, even when sort of like the game itself isn't something you or I wanted to stick with. Demeo was alright, but I think I am gonna go play one of my other tactics games that I like a bit more. That's fine. That's the thing. It's fine. Golfie is good. As much as you know what? If they make that multiplayer, there could be something really interesting there. And it's on the menu, so I think Golfie I'm really looking out for. And Kao, I should go play more Hat in Time is what I should do. That was they put a lot into that game and they made like all of it like bespoke and interesting. All right, I'm just rambling at this point. Thank you for joining me. This was fun for me. I hope you had fun hanging out too. And also, hey, I guess back to streaming. Like I said, I was off for a couple of weeks for circumstances. I'm just going to leave it at that. But yeah, I want to get back to streaming. I want to do more Doom. I want to do more of this. We got more Chicory to play. I know that has been our Saturday thing, but I wanted to come back with a bit more of a bang. Mix it up a little bit. Have a nice little like welcome back charcuterie of demos. Sure. And yeah, so thank you for hanging out tonight. I'll see you on Wednesday. I'll see you next Saturday. And I'm not going to make any promises about other stuff. I got to get a comic page done this weekend. I have streamed that in the past. I don't know if that's happening this time. It's just a lot going on. And lately I'm having trouble keeping up with it. But I'm glad I could sit down here and do some of this. All right. That's enough from me. It's midnight. I'm going to go eat. Go enjoy the rest of your night and the rest of your weekend, all right? Take care of one another, everybody. Bloop. Why is the mic still live for this one? That shouldn't be. It's not.